named the Speaker 2017 as well last year.
Okay, yeah, I think all of us is very eager to listen. This big speaker. So let's quick hands and welcome our DTM, Miss Kitty Wong, to come to the stage. And then today her workshop's title is Carving Your Mother Masterpiece. Carving Your Mother.
Where is that? Where is that? Not my master. Thank you, Drake, and thank you, Alvin. Would you help me to load out display the PowerPoint? I've got the file over here. Yes, that's right. Oh yes, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kitty Wong. As you can see here, this is definitely something for you to forget. Okay. Happy New Year, everyone. One of the famous quotes from Steve Jobs, stay hungry and stay foolish. I'm sure that we're not hungry, right? Because we've already got breakfast. And we're not that foolish, because on this Saturday morning, we chose to sit here, to listen, to learn from brilliant speakers. I'm sure that we have made the right choice. And this workshop, I'm going to share with you a few tips in how to formulate your masterpiece. And then I will also invite some of you to come out to share your thinking, your sharing. How you formulate your thoughts. Basically, when I received this topic, I was wondering, what exactly is a masterpiece? How do you define a masterpiece? Obviously, for me, it's my winning speech. But for those of you, what is your masterpiece? Would you like to give me some help? How you consider, what are the criteria of a masterpiece? What makes a speech your masterpiece? Anyone? How many of you have been a Toastmaster for more than 2 years? Please raise your hands. For more than, not nearly 20. Thank you. And how many of you have heard of my speech in the year 2015? It is not over yet. How many of you have heard of that speech? Okay. So would you like to share with me, what makes that speech so impressive? Or what makes that speech so memorable to you? No promotion? Yes, that you mean the bombing effect, right? Suddenly, all of a sudden, the momentum of the speech drops to another level. And apart from that, what makes a speech a masterpiece? Emily has a style. She is a diehard fan of Taoist, and I don't know why she tells me that she is a friend of mine as well. Well, thank you. Irene.
Well, I think it should be a speech with good structure, and there's a message, and there's a sound bite, which is not over yet.
Wow, thank you, Irene. Thank you, everyone. Shall we all give them a big round of applause? Indeed, I've already shared with you some of the essential criteria, which has been echoed by some of the members of the audience. The 5 C's and 1 H, I'm sure that everyone will understand. As Toastmaster, we are pursuing excellence. And what is excellence? Excellence is you overcome the Kitty Wong that you were the day before. In other words, the Kitty Wong today is better than the Kitty Wong yesterday. Now, as Toastmaster, how we define our masterpiece, it is not about how many trophies you got. It is about how you connect with the audience, how you present your message, how you convey the messages. Now, just now, Irene has mentioned, and also Emily has mentioned, and also, Raymond also mentioned about the essential criteria of a masterpiece. Well, let's have a look at it. They have all got it. If you remember my speech, it is not over yet. There you can see this kind of structure. Obviously, you can see the humor, the 5 C's and W and H. The humor part is most difficult. For every speaker, if you're going to win in the district level or maybe in the world champion level, you always need to inject humor. But today we're not talking about showmanship. Today we're talking about how we create our own speech, how we formulate our masterpiece just from the scratch of an idea. Now, just look at the comparison, all right? We look at the criteria of a masterpiece test. And then you are going to formulate your own thoughts and present the, thank you so much.
This is the conflict.
Well, perhaps he also needs to formulate. Thank you, Grace. Now, shall we talking about, let's record our memory of the speech. It is not over yet. Those of you who have heard of it, could you please help me to have a kind of input? First of all, the conflict. I'm sure Raymond has already mentioned. What is the conflict about my speech? It's the promotion, right? Everyone got promotion, and then some people do not want you to get promoted, and then they give you some hurdles to overcome. Well, this is the conflict. Thank you, thank you. We have very good logistic support. Thank you. And then the conversation is to build you, to bring everyone into the scene. You can see from my speech there are several hurdles. The board interviews, level 1, and the second board interview, and then lastly, the tensor. These are all the hurdles. And in between, I added in a lot of characters. The big boss, right? And also my friend Peter, and then ultimately my inner voice. So you see there are different characters in there. And then I also add in conversations, so as to bring everyone into my scene. You can visualize everything. Now, apart from that, I also use, if you look at this word change. Not Obama's change, but Kitty Wong's change. It's your thinking process. I've got the awareness. Everyone told you you cannot overcome that hurdle. Everyone kept saying that you have got to give up. It is over. And then, all of a sudden, my thinking process changed. And with this change, I bring in call for action, calling everyone. If you're going to give up on something, ask yourself how much effort you are going to give for winning this goal. How far you're going to run for your goal. So, the whole package of this speech, you can see you have all these components. And that makes it so memorable, so impressive. I remember I also presented this speech on several occasions, apart from the contest. And in one occasion, I presented to a group of insurance agents. After that, they gave me a feedback. It was a written piece of paper. There are many pieces of paper. But one piece of paper that makes me most, that was most gratifying, because in that piece of paper, the lady, she said that I also encountered the same situation as you, except the cancer, that I left the government because I did not get promoted. And your speech touched my heart. And thank you for telling me that there is always a way out. Never give up. So you see, when you are presenting your speech, what makes a speech masterpiece? People will feel connected. People will remember it, and people will be moved. They will be inspired. Their actions will be changed. This is what I call masterpiece. All right, your show time. So Kitty, you have said everything. So okay, I know this is your best speech. Okay, I know you presented this speech in America, in Las Vegas, in front of thousands of Toastmasters. But what about me? I'm going to compete in the contest, right? I'm going to win. I'm going to make my masterpiece. But how? Okay, we start from the basics. Would you like to find your partner? And you're going to share. No, find your partner first. Yes. Thank you, gentlemen. Find your partner, share with your partner for 1 minute. For example, Grace is my partner, okay? Grace is my partner. I will share with her for 1 minute, and then after 1 minute, Grace is going to share with me for 1 minute, okay? So in turns. Remember what you are going to say. Remember what the other person has shared with you. And we will invite some of you to give us some comments or feedback. So timers, would you help us? So 1 minute, for example, 2 persons, right? One is A, one is B. So 1 minute for A sharing and 1 minute for B sharing. And after that, we will invite someone to come up. What are we going to share? That's exactly how you start writing your script. When you start preparing your contest, the first question is, what am I going to share? Okay, now it's time. Shall we? 1 minute. Find your partner and share. Alright, so please switch. So you're going to start whatever you're going to say, and then the next part is your partner is going to share, okay?
係啊，咁樣先。
Okay, time's up. Thank you, everyone. Now, if I would like to invite some of you, okay, please stop, please stop. Gentlemen, gentlemen. If I would like to invite some of you to share in one sentence, what exactly did you hear just now? You have heard the sharing from your partner for 1 minute. What exactly did he or she tell you in one sentence? Could you please summarize? How about this gentleman over there? Yes, yes, yes. Would you like to share? In one sentence, what exactly did your partner tell you just now?
Structure.
I mean, the content. What did she say?
Can I speak Cantonese?
No.
Yes.
Certainly.
咁我哋咧討論過分享一首詩啊。我哋聽日係一個詩會咧，大家就每人分享一首詩。
即係話1分鐘裏邊，你哋分享咗一首詩。
係啦。
OK，唔該晒，唔該晒。Your name?
Kevin.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. In 1 minute, they shared about a poem because they are from a poetry club. And also, Talis partner. So what did Talis tell you? You're so nosy. We want to know.
Well, he said there's always something to say, and he'll tell us at 11 o'clock how to pick a good topic.
11 o'clock. Okay. Wow, thank you so much. So in other words, Talis is telling you to pay attention to this workshop. The reason why I told you this, actually, there has to be a reason. You might share about the things you have taken during breakfast this morning. You might share about the things that linger in your mind for quite a while. You might share about your happiness during the Chinese New Year. Why you want to share this? There has to be a reason. You want to inspire people? You want to inform people? Or maybe like Donald Trump. You just want to talk. And having known the reason, ask yourself. I remember when I was the judge last year in the humorous speech contest, there was a speech about job interviews. It was a humorous speech contest. And contestants, he packaged the whole thing with humor, and it was all about job interviews. And then I asked him, okay, you want to share with us about the job interviews, but why you want to share with us about the bizarre, the weird interviews that you had encountered? What is the significance of your sharing? So ask yourself, ladies and gentlemen, before you compete in a contest, do you want to inspire people? Inspire with what? Keep them, ask them, invite people to sustain their energy. Or you advise the people to maintain integrity. Or you want the people to remember love is of foremost importance in our lives. What exactly do you want people to remember? In one sentence, ask yourself. And then you say, okay, this love concept lingers. It was so captivating in my heart. I need to share. No matter what, I need to share. Okay, so go for it. Share with the audience about it. All right? Next step. The first R is reason. Yes. Well, this is a little bit complicated. So in other words, I would just use my speech. It is not over yet. Now, in the beginning of my speech, I used some tricks to bring everyone into my stage. I used a trick to build up rapport with the audience. Do you remember? Ladies and gentlemen, look at me. Do I look pretty?
Yes.
No, I mean pretty smart. Everyone thought that I should get promoted. Now, so you see, this is my opening. I used a question to bring something that is generally considered as good. And then I bring everyone into my speech. So for every speech, we start with something that everyone feels connected, engaged, will be attracted, will be intrigued. This is what speech is all about. Instead of just saying, good morning, I'm going to tell you something. We're going to build a wall in Mexico, and they're going to pay for it. But instead of this, right? This is not a speech. So for every speech, you need to have a proper opening. Make sure that your opening, you can use a question, you can use a poem, you can use a quote, but make sure that you have built up something that could get into the audience fast. And then the body. Now, after I bring you into my speech, I will then elaborate my point. I will share my personal story. One of the fallacies of all the contestants is they think that telling story is describing the story, describing the scene, describing the emotions, describing the characters, describing the flow. Okay. Stop. Instead of saying, I was terrified, I was sad. Remember in my speech, when I know that, when I woke up in the hospital, and there I saw Peter standing next to me, and he said, it is over. I did not say any word about sad. I did not say anything about feeling miserable. But everyone felt the frustration in my heart. Telling a story, you do not need to depict every detail of the story. Telling a story did not need to say, Kitty was lying on the bed, and then Peter came in, and Peter looked at Kitty, and Peter said, and Kitty replied, and Kitty was sad. This is not telling a story. Telling a story, one of the very essential criteria, you master the momentum. The momentum, how you master it. Sometimes it's a key phrase. Sometimes it's just a facial expression. Sometimes it's a dead silence. So I want everyone to remember, you have a very good story in your life. You have a reason to tell. And you've got to package your story in a way that everyone will be there. They are in there and they saw everything. And they could visualize everything. So there's nothing to depict every detail. You just let the essence go there. All right. Last part. In my speech, I call for action. It's not only about Kitty, it's about everyone. That's the reason why you feel connected, right? That's the reason why you stay engaged. Through my sharing, when people notice that, Kitty, you got promoted finally, everyone clap hands. Why? Because it was just like the journey they had traveled through with Kitty, and you know that Kitty finally got that. Everyone was there. All right, complication. What do I mean by reinforce? Reinforce meaning that you have a reason, right? You cannot just say, I want to inspire you. I want you to remember my speech. That's not effective. How to enhance the effectiveness of your message? You need to reinforce. Reinforce and reinforce. How to reinforce Kitty? In my speech, it is not over yet. I failed many times, right? There are many hurdles, but still, after I fall down, I stand up. And I kept repeating the key phrase, it is not over yet. Whenever you have a message, whenever you have a soundbite, make sure that you have that to be repeated throughout the speech. Perhaps it's one story or two stories, but make sure that you have that key message connected. All right. So we're talking about opening. There has to be a conflict, a problem. You identify the problem, and then you offer solutions, right? And then you tell the audience to change the mentality or maybe to take actions. Your showtime. I want you to find your partner, maybe 3 or 4, and then you're going to develop your own speech. Now perhaps you say, Kitty, I really don't know what I can say for 3 minutes. Forget about the duration of the speech first. You just tell yourself what exactly I want to tell the audience. I can give you some suggestions. There has to be some concepts in our lives, some values we treasure very much. Parenting. In parenting, we have a lot of values. For example, in fostering children, we also have a lot of values. In talking about love, we also have a lot of values. Love is unreserved, unquenchable, and also in perseverance, we also have a lot of values. And then you can share with the audience what exactly did you encounter in your experiences. I mean, in your many years of life. I'm sure you have come across some people, or maybe you have come across some situations whereby you need to follow this kind of values, and you uphold this kind of values. Integrity is also one of the values. So make sure that you know what you are going to tell and why. Did you want to inspire, or did you want people just tell a story? And also, where are the 5 C's? 1 character or 2 characters, adding a little bit of dialogue, and that will do. When I competed in the club level, it is not over yet was a very simple speech. I adopted a story from my nephew when he was 4 years old. We were playing Monopoly, and he lost every money, paper money to me. He cried. And then all of a sudden, he said one thing. I have $1, I will be back. And it was this incident that triggered me to share a speech about my promotion journey. In the in-house level, the whole speech was just a piece of garbage. I didn't know why I got the champion. But then in the area level, I changed the whole package with these 5 C's because I decided the story of the little kid was too detailed and it does not correlate with the message. So I used humor, I used the job interviews, and then I used the cancer, and then I used the awareness. So you see all the 5 C's. All right? So here's your turn. 3 minutes, and then you're going to, well, form groups of 4 maybe. 4 will be better, because 2 will be that much. Form groups of 4, and share with us your 3-minute speech, okay? Try at least give yourselves a structure. For example, what is the conflict? What kind of characters I'm going to put in it? And what is the call for action? So you will notice that you are going from the general to the specific. Okay?
I want to share with you
So 3 minutes. Thank you, timer.
Can you show the 5C?
One minute to go. Thank you. Wow, looks like you have already got a lot of materials for your upcoming contests. So, any volunteers would like to share?
Peter, here.
Agnes? Shall we give them a big round of applause? It's okay, just share with us your framework or template in the speech. It's Victor from NDC. Thank you, Victor. Peter from NDC. So, what have you discussed?
We have discussed about how to form a 3-minute speech.
Is there any theme or any value you would like to share?
Maybe we want to share that life is like a soap drama.
Life is like a soap drama, soap opera.
Yeah.
Okay, and that is a very grand topic. And is there any stories or characters you want to put into that?
Yes, like your story in the office.
The story in the office. Okay, so you have restricted the scene. It's about the story in the office, and there are thousands of characters over there, and you have 7 minutes. So, Have you thought of